What's up, guys? Rip Trippers back at you with some important announcements, pricing of the AC9, and breakdown of the AC9. Let's go ahead and dive in. Alright, so before I get into all the parts and how everything goes together and what comes with it, I'm going to go over the price. So you have the basic right here. You have two options when you go to the site. You're going to have the basic and you're going to have the full kit. So the basic, and that is the AC9 with a white drip tip and extra O-rings. You have an extra O-ring for the top plug, and you have an extra nut, an extra nylon shoulder, and an extra nylon threaded nut, and an extra ground screw connection. So that comes with the basic, and that is going to be $125. And then you have the full kit, and the full kit not only comes with everything from the basic, but it also comes with a stainless steel brushed Ming drip tip. It comes with a meter of 30 gauge Kanthal wire and a meter of 28 gauge Kanthal wire, and it also comes with the three pre-oxidized stainless steel mesh wicks. And that is, for the full kit, is going to be $139.95. So here is the AC9 taken apart. You're going to have, and this is with the full kit, but your drip tips over here. You've got your top cap, which has a 1.5 millimeter hole, air hole. You've got your base, which is a solid base with a center post, threaded center post. You've got your tank system, which holds around 3.5 milliliters of juice. You've got your top plug that has around a 3.5 millimeter wick hole with your ground connection screw, and you can see your threaded center hole for the center post and your fill hole. It comes with an O-ring on there, and on the bottom of the top plug you have a nice groove for your tank section, which we'll go over in a minute. You also have this stainless steel post, which is going to be your positive post, and on here you have two stainless steel nuts. And then with that you have a nylon shoulder washer, and you have a nylon threaded base nut. And then here is your ground screw connection for the top plug. You're going to want to take the base connection, slide the tank on there just like that, and then take the top plug, screw it in a few threads, and then what I do is I slide it up like that, the tank section, and just screw it in. Easy peasy. The next step I'm going to do is take this ground connection screw, screw it in. Now once I've done that, I'm going to take the positive post, and I'm going to take the nylon shoulder washer. You want to make sure that you have, I take this stainless steel nut and make sure it's at the top, tighten at the top, and make sure the second stainless steel nut is about 5 threads below that. And I'm going to take this nylon base nut, insert that into the base, and all I'm going to do is screw it in with my hand until I feel some tension. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to take this flathead screwdriver and I'm going to tighten it until I can see that the bottom of the positive connection is flush. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure that this bottom stainless steel nut is tightened all the way. I'm going to take this mod. In this case I have a Provari. I'm going to screw it onto the Provari just like that. So now that we have the AC9 screwed onto the Provari, I'm going to take one of the stainless steel mesh wicks that has been pre-oxidized out of this vial, which is soaked in 100% VG. So what I like to do is, before I even put the stainless steel mesh wick in there, especially if I'm using it on a Provari, since the Provari is very sensitive with Genesis style atomizers, I like to take my juice and fill the tank up beforehand. And to do that, you can either use a syringe and fill it in this fill hole right here, or you can just use the bottle, and I like to fill it with inside the wick hole since it's a lot larger. And as you can see, it's filling right up. Just like that. Once I have that stainless steel mesh that I've pulled out of this vial, what I like to do is take a lighter and I'll just burn that VG off there and then put a nice coating of my e-liquid on there before I load it up. That's just personal preference, but you don't have to do that. So I'm just going to run the flame over the pre-oxidized wick, and all I'm going to do is just put a nice coating on here. So once I've got that good coating of my juice on this this oxidized wick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the wick inside the wick hole just like that. And we made these wicks a little bit long for you guys to give you guys more room to work. And what I like to do is I like to take scissors and I'll just cut right at the top of this screw head. Now, when you cut it like that, you want to make sure you open that hole back up. I mean, that's very crucial because this AC9 wicks like a son of a gun. You're never going to have to worry about that. And if you keep the top of that wick closed, it'll wick too much for you. Which is good, but I like to keep it open. So I prefer to open that hole back up at the top. Now, the next step, you got your Kanthal right here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this bad boy. So you got your Kanthal, and all you're going to do is you're going to wrap the Kanthal inside that, between the ground connection, just like that. And you're going to come around and you're just going to tighten it up. Tighten that Kanthal underneath that ground screw connection, just like that. And then what I'll do is I'll just wiggle it like that. Give it a little tension. Bam. Next step. Time for the wrapping. And I am using 28 gauge Kanthal, by the way. So I'll start wrapping it just like that, and I'll take my index finger and press it down at the bottom. And I'm going to do a 5-4 wrap. Which should get me around 1.2, 1.3 ohms. Now once I made my 5th wrap, I take it across like that, and I take it in between the top head and the second nut. And perfect. just like that. And you want to tighten this stainless steel nut. You don't want it to be too tight, you don't want it to be too loose, you just want it to touch that canthal. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pair of scissors, clip it just like that. The next step I'm going to do is I'm just going to even out these coils. So once I've evened out these coils right here, we're going to check our ohms. This should be about 1.1 to 1.3 ohms. This 5/4 wrap, and it is 1.1, 1.2 ohms. Right where we need to be. Now keep in mind, with this area that's wrapped around these two nuts, just like I mentioned in the previous videos, you want to make sure that it's not too tight, it's not too loose, it's got to be just touching. And right now I've got it 3.7 volts. And when using this Provari Mini, it is very sensitive, and that goes with for any Genesis style atomizer. So you want to start at 2.9 volts and then work your way up. I've worked my way up to 3.7, and it's rocking. Rocking and rolling. Alright, so once I've done that, I'm going to take this top cap right here, and I'm going to line it up with the air hole with the wick, and I'm just going to slide it on just like that. Now once I've done that, I'm going to take, in this case, the stainless steel brushed Ming drip tip, which comes with the full kit, and booyah, you got a full AC9. So we're going to go ahead and take it back to the original screen, and I'm going to show you guys how it vapes, talk about the airflow, and all those details. Alright, let's go ahead and get back to it. Again, I've got to give credit to my engineer, Brent. He designed it. He's the genius, and it's just amazing. So I'm excited about this. I'm really proud of what we've done, this design, and I'm really especially happy for you guys that are going to be able to buy something like this, especially in the US. So it's going to be, like I mentioned, this coming Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to launch, and you can go on there. As of now, if you go to Vaping A's and you go to shop, you have to enter a password. On Wednesday, on the 26th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, you're not going to have to enter any password. You just go to it, make your purchase, you're good to go. So let me know if you have any questions. This is Rip Trippers. Comment below. Love helping out the vaping community. And remember, smoking is dead, vaping is the future, and the future is now. Have a great night.